For the peanut commission dinner, somebody asked me.
Yeah, we need to.
Okay.
Yeah, I done forgot about it. Please don't be mad with me for calling an 8 o'clock meeting on a non-working day, but I appreciate y'all showing up. Oh, everybody, because he needed to change a word or two in his ELD resolution, and we need to get it out. Um, Clay, would you say a prayer for us, please, sir?
Yes, sir. Bow with me, if you will. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I do thank you for this wonderful morning that we have, that you've given us this morning. Lord, I thank you for the rain last night, and reminds us how dependent we are for all things. Lord, I pray that you will be with us this morning as we carefully deliberate the things that will be honoring and pleasing to you, and help us to remember where all things come from. In your name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Before we get started, the Flavor of Georgia is down at the depot from 4:30 to 7 this afternoon. They'll be honoring Farm of the Year type stuff, and Bo and them wanted me to tell y'all, if you want to go down there and look at some new businesses that are starting out with new ideas, you're more than welcome. And then today at 1:45 down on, I think it's the Old Thorpe Steps. Is that it, Brian? They're rolling out a Department of Ag, and I guess the governor, and I don't know who else, is rolling out a new T-shirt that is completely Georgia-grown cotton. They can take the material in the T-shirt and trace it all the way back to the farm that the cotton came from. So it's a kind of a big deal to promote Georgia products. So anyway, that'll.
Is actually, it's softer and has longer fiber length than everybody.
Our cotton does. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And that's at 1:45. So, Representative Dickey, if you will tell us what we need to change on HR 1397.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate members of the committee being here this morning. I would say a shout out for this Flavor of Georgia. I had an employee a couple of years ago that won one of those awards, innovation. She had of all things, a blueberry bourbon preserves or jelly or something, and it was really, really good. She's still making it and selling it, and I think she's skirting around the regulated industries laws about that, but there's some good stuff. We're getting to the matter at hand, Mr. Chairman, members. Last week, we passed out House Resolution 1397, and as it went through rules, just to be honest, we had some questions about some wording in there, and wasn't their fault. I think this resolution really addresses some issues as agriculture deals with this electronic logging device regulations, but I think the other, we're really focused on safety, and so safety is a big part of this new law. But I think this resolution, what we were just actually trying to do was to point out that agriculture needs some exemptions, needs some different type of laws and to deal with this and still be able to get our crops to market, our livestock moved around the markets, and so was asked to do just a little slight change in wording, and that's what we did. We in the first line 1 and 2, we're encouraging the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Act to provide appropriate electronic logging device regulations governing agriculture industry and supporting agribusinesses. and we just did that instead of total withdrawing of the regulations. And so just a little softer language, still staying focused on safety and those type of things. And you know, a lot of times we don't know how these resolutions act or work. Sometimes we feel like they're not worth a whole lot. I got word last week from our Secretary of Agriculture, Gary Black, that Sonny Perdue, former governor and Secretary of Agriculture, had engaged with Elaine Chao, Secretary of Transportation, and she has granted a 90-day extension on these new laws. And so, looking at those, in fact, it turns out that we do have some ag laws or in the wording that we have some exemptions. So I think this resolution and resolutions from all across the country and other ag states actually made some difference. So thank y'all, and thank members of our ag community, Agribusiness Council, Farm Bureau, Cattlemen Association, and our Department of Ag for all engaging and many other organizations for engaging in this type of urging and trying to get things helpful. So wanted to try to get this back through rules, and so that's the only changes that we did. That ag has a different sets of issues than these containers coming off ship from 2 weeks from China. That we've got some very perishable and very valuable animals and those type things that need to get to market in a timely manner, and hopefully our federal government will recognize the need for certain rules and regulations allow us to do that in a timely manner. So thank you for your patience this morning and for this resolution.
Does anybody have any questions for
And bees.
Robert? I know Chairman England showed me a message yesterday from Chris Butts where it had cost a retailer in Athens his order was $9,900 coming from Apopka, Florida on plants, cost him $3,300 worth of freight to get it from Apopka because of the shortage of drivers and trucks on perishable products like that. Clay, you got a question, or you want to make a motion? Oh, Sam, okay.
I was just going to thank the chairman for his hard work on this. This is a very important piece of legislation, as I know he knows it's affected our industry tremendously. And I had somebody talking about it the other day, Mr. Chairman. Mobley Plant Company was having trouble getting their plants because right now plants are being distributed out across the state, and they're having trouble getting live plants to where they need to be and having the trucks to be able to do that. So appreciate all your work on this, and I'd like to make a motion at the appropriate time. Motion do pass.
Do pass, and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members.
There's one bill that's not on the list, but it's in your folder, and we've been working on this for probably a month to try to get the language right, and it's Senator Heath, 257, and way before day this morning we finally got some language worked out. And you get down to these kind of days, these last 2 or 3 days, and that's the way things happen. We've been trying to get it to where the department would be okay and the people involved would be okay. And there is a substitute, an amendment to a substitute in your folder. And basically what it does is changes some of the language in Senator Heath's bill. And I told him not to worry about coming because we were so late. But basically what it does is change some of the language in his bill to strictly talking about food animals. And part of the reason that amendment is as long as it is, there wasn't a definition of a food animal in code, so we had to put it in code. And it also goes back to Clay's Veterinary Practice Act and pull some language out of that describing what food animals are. So the genesis of this was there was a farmer down in South Fulton that got charged with 80 animal cruelty felonies. They were all dismissed except for one, which was his fault. So all this says is that if a officer wants to charge a farmer with animal cruelty on food animal production, he has to talk to a veterinarian that is licensed and accredited in Category 2. Category 1 is dogs and cats. Category 2 is everything. It's dogs, cats, horses, large animals. So the purpose of this is if he even talks to a veterinarian, or if the guy that did all this even talked to a veterinarian, we need a veterinarian that understands what a cow's supposed to look like, or different breeds of cows are supposed to look like, and not be charged with animal cruelty. And I won't bore you with a lot of stuff, but I spent probably an hour and a half this morning going back, pulling up impoundment code sections and cruelty code sections, and if y'all want to take a nap, I got them here. You can read them, but I'm not even sure they did on this particular case what was legal after I read some of that stuff. So if anybody has any questions about this amendment or to the substitute to 257, I'll try to answer them, but otherwise we just trying to protect farmers and food animal folks. Go ahead, I guess.
If there are no questions, I would move, do pass, Ag Committee, substitute to Senate Bill 257 as amended by this committee.
All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. All right, and I appreciate y'all getting up on a day that you didn't have to, but this is the Ag Committee and we'll take care of you. So thank you very much.